So I met Mark in the park and he and I started talking about yoga. I was explaining that I go a lot because I deal with a lot of back pain and I'm trying to figure out what the root of it is. And he's like, I think this is amazing because I work on something that I think will really help you. This is what I do for my work. And I know that a lot of what we feel and think ends up living in your body. I totally believe in that connection point. So I, like many others, have been to talk therapy before. And, oftentimes people will say that they end up feeling like they're the one doing all the talking, all the processing, all the dot connecting when they're talking with a therapist. I ended up finding a really great therapist at one point, but it really was a lot of intellectualizing what was happening. And that only takes you so far when a lot of these things are actually subconscious. So your conscious mind couldn't access or talk through them. So working with Mark, he just makes you feel comfortable right away. He definitely feels like a trusted friend. But not only that, he is able to connect a lot of dots for you and provide really helpful insights that truly help add perspective to how you're doing and processing your experiences. We were able to uncover a lot. It's been really, really helpful. Instead of thinking and over analyzing and over intellectualizing what's going on in my life and why I might be feeling this way, it really was more about just actually sitting with the feeling and processing it. And while I am somebody who's totally comfortable being vulnerable with my friends, my family, the people close to me, I think I have a really hard time sitting and feeling those feelings alone and feeling safe feeling those feelings. And if you are anything like me, it's not really a logical response. It's more just you feel nervous to actually process those deep feelings, and you probably have a lot of other distractions coming up that are preventing you from doing so. For me, it's really important what's coming up in my dreams sometimes. I would have a lot of nightmares, and the nightmares were thematic. So there were things that happened over and over again, didn't really make sense to me. And we were able to uncover some of those themes were actually a part of my subconscious, of my shadow. The things that I feared the most were actually just literally a part of me. So really learning to understand those characters of your own persona that you really have just shoved down. And we all have them. And we all need to understand every part of ourselves in order to not only be our most authentic selves, but to heal, to grow, to have a great relationship with yourself, to love yourself fully. And when you love yourself fully, you can show up for yourself and for others even more. And you can really go out there and live the life that you're supposed to live. So I noticed a few things along the way. One, I became very aware of how I was guarding in my front body. This was more of like always searching for how others around me are doing, making sure others around me are okay, because that was when I felt the most safe. But actually what it was causing is some gripping and tightening in my front body and my diaphragm and my chest, which, constricts your breathing, constricts your digestion. And in my case, it was causing me literal back pain. So I've been able to really release a lot of that, and it's been a weight off my body. One aspect of this that I didn't even realize would happen, it was a kind of a great surprise, is my appetite just slowed down. Like, I think now I have a normal appetite. Before, I feel like I was really hungry a lot, and I would overeat at times, and I think a lot of it was related to this, and I didn't know that so much about myself. And I just noticed about halfway through our program, I'm like, oh, I don't really ever feel starving anymore. Like I feel hungry at dinner, I eat dinner, but like I'm not like ravenous for a snack in the middle of the day. Or when I eat dinner, I feel like I can just like eat a normal meal. Like I don't have to like go back for a second. So I don't know. That was just an interesting thing to me because I think it's all connected. Your body, once everything kind of reaches homeostasis, it is impacting every system in your body. So that was very nice. I've definitely released a lot in my psoas. I am also working with a rolling technique. So both this work of feeling into my feelings, the regression work that we did helped to release a lot of that. And then I'm assisting it with some rolling. And all in all, it's like months later, I feel like world of difference. Now when I lay down, I have like a hip hook. When I lay on it, I'm not really in excruciating pain. I used to be short of breath, like really freaking out whenever I would try to do it. And the biggest takeaway for me is, well, one, it's very cathartic to let a lot of this go. And you can rationally know that you're supposed to let a lot of this go, but a lot of us don't have the tools or the education or the process to know how to safely release the feelings and the emotions that are stored in your body. So, this is a very supported program where you have Mark guiding you through the whole thing. It's very much a dialogue. You're able to share honestly what you're thinking. If you don't have the answers, you can say you don't know. It's a very safe and comfortable way of processing what can be very uncomfortable emotions or memories or things that have really triggered you for quite some time, and in your subconscious, things that you're not even aware of. It's that physical and emotional release, which is of course calming to your nervous system, and over time you just are going to feel much better in your body and more like your authentic self. But for me, it's been such a vehicle for me to grow and shift into this next phase of my life where I really feel like I'm the most authentically myself. I'm more in tune with what my interests are, what I want to do. I'm not living from a place of fear. I'm actually living in a place of expecting abundance. And I genuinely mean that. Like, I'd gone through a big career change a couple of years ago, and even more recently, I've had a lot of shifts with my work, and I've become more of an entrepreneur, which I'm very proud of and excited by. And in the beginning, before this program, I definitely had a lot of fears around it. Now I am just showing up more as my authentic self with confidence. A lot of things are genuinely flowing my way, which is really exciting. I know there's a lot more to come. So yeah, during the program, I had a couple big shifts that kind of happened that felt like they needed to happen, and they happened quickly. So this program is one of those things that will really like shake things up, but in the way that it's supposed to be, in a safe way. So yeah, very highly recommend, especially if you're somebody who tends to be in your head a lot and you don't really know how to come back into your body. And I would even say, my friends would say I'm somebody who was like in tune with myself, and I'm intuitive and I know about my body, but this was just a whole other level. So even if you feel like you do pay attention to your body cues more, you do live your life intuitively, there's so much more that you don't understand about your subconscious that this program can really help you access in such a safe and compassionate way.